Hey guys, so for today's video, you guys know that I love Halloween. I love the colors, I love the decorations and everything like that. So I thought it would be super fun to make this 3D paper haunted house. Or if you don't like Halloween, you could just make it a regular house or like a mansion or something. This project is a lot of fun. It's really not that hard as long as you take your time and follow the instructions in the video step by step. So make sure that you pause a lot to catch up and make sure you're just kind of following as the steps go. Now with this one, you need a piece of paper. White paper will work much better than lined paper, but lined paper will work if that's all you have. You'll need a scissors and a glue stick. And if you have another piece of paper that's a color, that's awesome. But if you don't, you can just use another piece of white or lined paper. For this one, you can add lots of details and different things. I made my house like Halloween colors. I did purple and orange. I made it nighttime. I made these trees in the background. I think this project is so cool. And from the side, it even looks kind of neat that way too. So with this one, I'm going to show you the steps and make sure you follow along, take your time, and let's get started. With this project, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's hard to do. However, you really need to follow along step by step and make sure that you're not going ahead to do what you think is the right thing to do, and make sure that you're just kind of following along with the video. So the first thing you're going to do with your white paper is you're going to fold it in half. Make sure it's this vertical portrait first. You fold it in half, match up those corners, crease the folds, and then you are going to cut while it's still folded and on the side that has the fold. Okay, so I'm gonna hold on to this for right now. You're gonna cut, and it's basically going to be the length that you want the house to be. So how tall you want it to be. It's gonna end up cutting on both sides, and one will be the roof, one will be this, but you're gonna cut it to be about as tall as you want the house to be. All right, and you're gonna make one on each side. So maybe an inch from the side, I'm gonna cut straight up and down. I think a little taller. Perfect. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same and try to make the amount of space here the same as the amount of space on the other side. What's very important is you make sure that this cut is not any longer than the one you did before. Of course, if they're not perfect, it's okay, but that looks almost the same. Now, if I open it up, it doesn't really look like much yet. I'm gonna try to flatten this out, but do you see how the roof and the building are this and this now? Okay, so what we'll do with our marker before we go on and start cutting a little bit more on our paper is you're gonna go at the bottom of these two cuts and make a straight line that connects from one to the other. On the fold, you're also going to make a straight line in the center of the two pieces you cut. And then at the top, you're going to make a straight line that goes from one cut side to the other. Now, if you want to add this little extra top, which is not necessary, but it's fun, I'm going to show you how to do that now. If this seems a little too tricky, just don't even do it and your house will still look really cool. So if you want to make that little extra piece, you're going to actually fold your paper on this line you just made. Be very careful so you don't accidentally rip the cuts you already made. So fold on that line. I'm going to actually flip it over so I can make sure I don't cut too far. And a little off from the center, I'm going to cut a short line, and then I try to do my other one about the same distance from the side as the first one, and the same length. Okay, so let's take a quick look. To look at our house, this part, make sure you're paying attention because the folds are a little weird. These folds that we don't have a line on, you want to bend them back so they're folding this way instead. And the part that we did draw the line on that's gonna be part of our house, we wanna fold it out. And then just kind of practice pulling it gently open to look like how the house is supposed to look. So this part can stay kind of flat, and then you wanna make a crease on this line here. So just kind of gently fold where that line is, press it in, and see how it's kind of making a 3D house. Now this part you have to pop out a little bit. So what I like to do is the part that is the roof and not this little piece, I kind of pop those folds back. And then this part can stick out. So do you see how now we have the little house? I'm gonna make a little fold here where this top piece is touching the roof as well. So see, it took a little bit of time, not too long though, and now I have that basic house shape. That was the trickiest part, so if you got through this, good job. Now you pretty much just add decorations. I'm gonna just gently flatten it a little bit and add some decorations to my house. Remember, this is the roof, so you don't need to add anything to this, and this is the roof of this little piece, so you don't need to do anything to this. Just these two pieces can have windows, doors, whatever. So I've drawn out the stuff I want for my house. Of course, next I would color it. You can look at this one to see which parts are supposed to be a roof and which parts are not, and color yours in how you want. I'm gonna skip the coloring part today for my example because I just wanna show you how to glue it down. So now that I have it kind of drawn out, I'm gonna again kind of pop the pieces out the way that they're supposed to be. And the only parts I'm gonna add glue to are the flat part that's the ground and the flat part that is the sky. This part can be a little annoying to do, if I'm honest. First, you want to take your extra paper and fold it in half like we did with our paper in the beginning. Make sure you match up those corners. And then open it back up. And then I think what the easiest way to do this is you're gonna line up the crease on your white paper with the crease from your other paper, whatever color it is, and take your glue stick and very carefully, without moving it from the spot, lift up a little edge where the grass is and just put a line of glue there and press it down. I find it easier to just do little parts at a time. Otherwise, you're gonna get really frustrated because it'll keep sticking in the wrong spots and you'll have to keep fixing it. All right, so now that I glued only the background for the sky and the grass down, I can kind of carefully pick this up and pop those pieces back out that are meant to be popped out. And I have my 3D house. Now on this one, I did cut a little bit of black scrap paper to make a little triangle roof on top of the small part. If you decide to do that, you just glue it right to the front. But you can just have fun with this, coloring it in. But if you're someone that likes paper folding and stuff like that, then this project is probably for you. So just take your time, rewatch if you need to, and have fun. Well guys, I hope you had fun making your 3D houses with me. You know, I know it's a little weird at first, but if you follow the steps and really take your time, it's not too bad. So just have fun with it, you know, add whatever details you want, and I would love to see what you made. But I will see you guys next time for our next video. Bye.